Hello, everyone, and welcome to a breaking news pod. And that breaking news is, of course, the signing of Lawrence Shankland. Rangers have officially completed the signing of the former Hearts skipper. How nice does it sound to say that? Former Hearts skipper. And he is now officially a Rangers player. Joining me is a man who has been on the pod for 8 years now, and I don't think there has been a day gone by when he hasn't said that we should sign Lawrence Shankland. So I thought he was the most fitting person to bring on to the show today, and that is Kevin Armstrong. Kevin, how are you feeling now that this has finally happened?
Feels a wee bit like Christmas. I hope it works out because I have been pining for this signing for a couple of years, as you said. We were actually having a wee laugh the other day, me and Stuart and a few other boys were saying how all the tactics guys wanted to sign Scovilles and we wanted to sign Shankland. So let's see who's right. But no, it's a brilliant start to the window because at the end of the season, after Motherwell, really, I sort of said, like, we know what we need now. We know what's in front of us. Let's get our business done early. Let's not wait till the 29th of August and we're still faffing about trying to get key areas tied up. Hopefully this is the start of a very good window because, by God, are we due one?
Yeah, we are. There are going to, Rangers are going to be active right up to the last day because I think everybody is because of the World Cup. But that doesn't mean you can't do the business that you can do as soon as you can do it. And I'm glad that there's no messing about, no going, oh, we'll wait and see who. We never know who might come up. Rangers wanted Lawrence Shankland specifically, clearly, and I don't think it's much of a secret that Lawrence Shankland really wanted Rangers. I've spoken about this on my video, Kev, and I've spoken about it on the shows, but I do think it's an important point to labour. I admit that the last couple of years I've struggled to identify with players in this Rangers team, and that's not their fault. You know, they're young men, they're well paid, but the closest I've come was Mikey Moore, really, who was a lone player. There is something special about one of our own, a guy who, you know, if he wasn't in the park, would far rather be up next to you in the stand playing for your team. I don't care what anyone says, there's something very special about that, and it's something I think we've missed.
It is, Christ, we'll probably still dream about playing for Rangers one day, David. I think maybe our chances are
haven't given up hope.
They're slightly
haven't given up hope.
Lawrence Shankland obviously had that same dream. Given the way he hung about last season waiting for us, now we messed that up, I think. It's quite obvious given the season we went on to have with Hearts. But you're right, to see a Scottish born and bred Rangers supporter out there, you won't doubt his commitment the way you maybe do with young players that come up from the lower leagues in England that are maybe just happy for the pay bump and looking to get back down the road as soon as possible. We always say that playing for Rangers is a privilege, right? Now we accept that when young boys come up through the academy, the very best ones will be offered life-changing money to go down south, and no one can blame them for then sort of saying, I want to play for Rangers, but Chelsea, for example, are offering me to set me for life. This is not the case with Lawrence Shankland. We admit he's got a ceiling, right? I think we all admit that. But to have that out there, imagine how he must be feeling. Imagine how proud he is of finally getting this done after years, and it has been years. You can go back through all his career. He's always wanted this. And he's not a young boy, but with age comes hopefully some maturity, some experience, and a lot of things that we've lacked. And yeah, that because we grew up with great strikers, right? We were spoiled. We all know that. Young boys, who have they had over the last 10 years? Alfredo, who I also loved. But apart from that, is there anyone that you could say going down the park, playing with your pals, or maybe you used to pick a player, I'd be such and such, and I'll be McCoist, and you can be him, or whatever. I think most of the kids now go, I'll be Haaland, and I'll be Mbappe. Maybe one or two might just go for Lawrence Shankland this summer.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing, and we're going to talk about some of the other qualities that he brings, the qualities that I think that Rangers recognise that they need at the moment. But let's not forget Lawrence Shankland's a very, very good striker and has proven it repeatedly in Scotland. And we can't even say now, but he's going to play for the top of the table team, because he was last year and he was a significant factor in them being that, just one awful, dubious refereeing decision away from the title.
Yeah, And I say, if you even just look at his footballing ability, right, that's there for all to see. He can pick a pass. He's wonderful at bringing others into the game. But it's also, and it was something that Stevie Harrigan pointed to me a number of years back, and then I watched for it. It's like, if Hearts are having a bad game, watch Shankland. He'll leave one on someday. He'll take the yellow card. He'll get the crowd fired up. He'll get his teammates fired up. And that's something that how many times have we said has been lacking from this Rangers team? A wee bit of the dark arts, just to sort of say, come on then, right, let's go, let's all in this together. And it's something that stuck with me, and I've always watched for it. And again, just to have that leadership in that, as you say, I mean, they were a couple of decisions in a couple of minutes away from the title, and he scored in the last day, and for that period of time,
games, yeah. His record against the Old Firm tells you that he can play, but I think as well, you never know till a guy gets here. We know this, right? And no matter where you've been, it doesn't prepare you for it. But being a supporter, you do have the understanding of it. At least it won't be an eye opener to him. Although I'm sure even he won't, when he comes in, the size and scale of it will be noticeable. You mentioned though as well leadership. Now everyone and their dog could see last season Rangers lacked it, badly lacked it. Andrew Kavanagh has said that they're aware of it, and it's definitely something that's very high up the list. And I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that signing Shankland, who has been Hearts captain, a very fine captain for them, and has demonstrated that the ability to almost drag his team along with him at times. I have zero doubts. And it is a new time at Rangers. James Tavernier's away. It has been Tav's dressing room for a number of years. He's been the person that set the standards in there. There is now an opportunity for Rangers and for players coming in to be told, you're arriving here. Not merely Lawrence Shankland, Dan Neil, who was captain at Sunderland as well, is another that we're strongly linked with. But clearly this is an area Rangers feel that they've got to bring people in to provide it. And Shankland, I think, is a very, very definitive statement of that.
Yes, as you say, he's not even... Sometimes you hear when people come, they're a Rangers supporter, they've been away for Scotland for 20 years, right? He's been in this league. He was in the stands in Seville and stuff like that, right? He is very much dyed in the wool blue nose. So Tav has had his time. It's come and gone. So now we're on to the new leadership group, if that's you want to use a modern term. Shankland will be a huge part of this. Sorry to go back to it, but anyone who watched his antics on the last day will know how much he wants to win, and if there was any doubt that he wanted to win before that last day, imagine the fuel and the fire under him of wanting to regain the crown, make this club as big as it can.
You can say it. We've finally maybe got a player that has the same attitude towards that lot as we do.
We've said it for years that they hate us a lot more than we hate them. And I know that sounds really simplistic, but the 55 squad had a bit of it. We've lost a good lot of it since then.
Gerrard definitely had it, and he instilled it in his players. And you see that. I think with Shankland as well, what you're getting is a signing that is as close to... there's no such thing as a universally popular signing at Rangers, but you're getting one that's as close to universally popular as possible at the right time. It gives everyone a boost, and I think it buys the club a bit of space in the transfer market to get on with the business. But I think as well with this one, Kev, that it's somebody coming in that suggests to everyone that, right, this is a new start, go in a direction. Because as you mentioned there have been times in the past where he could have came in January 24. I know that John Bennett was very keen to bring him in, and Philippe Clement less so. I know that obviously last summer the support was keen on getting him in, but between Kevin Thelwell and Russell Martin, that didn't happen. I also want to bring up the fact that he put that clause in his contract last year for a reason, and this is the reason. Let's not kid ourselves on this. This is the reason that he did it, in case this opportunity came up. And I think to back yourself like that I love that. That impresses me that he thought, okay, they didn't want me last year, they'll fucking want me next year. And I love that. I think that's absolutely brilliant to buy. And by the way, there isn't a single Hearts fan out there can say that he phoned it in for them last year either. So the professionalism to go out there and play the way he played for them, but also, if you like, the Rangersness of going, but I still want to go to Ibrox. Just, I love that.
Yeah, I say playing for Rangers is a privilege. We would all love to pull on that shirt. He's very much there. Like you said, he's probably, I mean, he's not a stupid boy, right? He's probably to look at Russell Martin and thought he's not going to be there long, right? So he's probably hedged his bets because nobody knew about it. It wasn't publicised. So worst case, Russell Martin was a roaring success and Rangers didn't need him. He's more than happy at Hearts and he's got his deal, right? So it's very clever. It's very clever. He didn't shout about it to sort of annoy the Hearts fans. Nobody seemed to know about it, and then we've taken advantage of it. And let's hope that he goes on to have a brilliant Rangers career. Now, you say most of the support will be delighted. There will be some that will say, there's no sell-on clause, there's no resale value, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
I could not give a toss about that. I want players. I want to win things next year.
Yeah, let's have I'd much rather have a season of winning things for a wee change than look, we sold him for 15 million.
Look at
brilliant.
Yeah, the exact. No, I want guys that can help us win right now. I know, and by the way, I don't expect Rangers. If Rangers make 10 signings this summer, Kev, there won't be 10 players over 30. There won't be 10 19-year-olds either. Do you know what I mean? They will have a mix, which is what you need to do. But we need some players who arrive to go into the first team, and this is very much one of those.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, you've always got to split between short-term, medium-term and long-term signings. This will probably be one of those medium-term ones where we won't get any money back, but hopefully every penny worth is on the pitch and rewarded with shiny things. The knock-on effect is...
There's no huge fee, though. So I mean,
of course not. It's even better. But what you might see is he brings out the best in like Nadiri, Chermiti, and just the benefit of playing with an experienced striker, because those are two young guys that are still making their way in the game, and for all they've got qualities and things like that, just that elder statesman, the way like Defoe had an impact on people like Alfredo and stuff. Sometimes you just need that wee bit of experience, guide in hand. He may not play every week. He might be on the bench. He might be in and out, but it's a squad game now. We don't sign players generally that are going to start every week.
No, I think he will play a lot, but you're right, he won't play every game. And you've got to look after people, and you've got to be cognizant. He's very fit, but you've got to be cognizant of people's ages. But I do agree with you. I think the type of forward he's very good at playing with another striker. And I think if you look at the strikers, all of our strikers, plus Miofsky as well, they're all better with someone up with them, I think.
Yeah, it's some of the parts, isn't it? And he can play number 10, so if we were wanting to play that number 10 role, we've seen him do that for Hearts, where he sort of lose a bit in the goal return, but he can play there. It's a more physical presence in the side as well, and we've seen the players that Danny Rowe likes, they're physical. You also mentioned that the good start to the window. The board's come out and said, we are looking for X, Y, Z in a player, and then the first player to deliver has X, Y, Z. That also gives us, as a support, renewed belief in that actions speak louder than words, because then we can come out and say, we're going to sign these players, but then they go off and do something totally different, which we've seen from Rangers in the past. So let's hope that this is more of the same, and we have got a plan going into this window, and we're not just doing the thing of, he's a good player, let's buy him and see what we can do with him.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I think that, as you say, that it's a message that it sends, I think, first of all, that does indicate that we actually have learned some, to us, the obvious lessons of last season. And the lessons of several seasons, let's be honest, this wasn't just a new issue that arrived last year. Rangers have players who have shrunk in the face of the enormous pressure at the club. And I keep saying it, but it's true. There's no guarantee anybody is going to be a success. Any signing at any club, there is no guarantee that they're going to be a success, because obviously individuals are all different, factors, timing, all of these things are different. But what you do is you sort of go through a list of things and you try and make it as risk-free as possible. I would argue that, given the way that the transfer, the fee, etc., this is as risk-free as you can get. Doesn't mean you'll be a success, but it certainly ticks a lot of those boxes.
Exactly. You could do all your homework. You could look at all the statistics you want, and then the player comes in and they're not fit. Again, we've seen that in the past with players that come to Rangers, don't work out, go away and have great careers. That's fine. There's certain things that you can't put on a spreadsheet, like attitude. The other things you can do your homework, and like you say, it just does not work out. But for the low fee, I'm going to guess that he's not on a huge wage. He will, of course, get a bump, but I'm going to say he's not going to bother to have salary when he was here. No-brainer is the sort of phrase that gets thrown about. And listen, he might go on to be a reigning success. He might be mid, as the kids say, or he might be a total failure. You're not going to get all of them right, but everyone seems to think this will be a success, and I hope we're proved right, because, as you say, there's more evidence that says this will work than it won't work. So fingers crossed that we're right, and he's very successful. I'm just interested to see what squad number he'll get, because I'm a bit of a geek that way, because obviously 9 is taken. So wonder what he'll be having.
I don't think he'll be bothered, frankly. I think he would have taken number 106 if it meant he got to come to Ibrox and play for Rangers. And yeah, he's delighted to be here, and we're delighted to have him. Right then, folks, we'll obviously have more on this in the next couple of days, but you can all go away and relax now. The deal is done. It's finished. It's in the books. Lawrence Shankland is a Rangers player. My thanks to you, Kev, for jumping on at short notice.
Thank you to me, and thank you to Rangers for making this happen.
Yes, we're all very happy, and now can go along and enjoy the rest of the week and look forward to seeing him in the blue next season. Thanks for listening, folks. Talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.